Hey guys, I want to do a quick video on this software that we use for the company-owned stores to find sites. And I think it could be very helpful for some of you that are searching for new sites. And I'm going to give step by step exactly on how it works, how we've used it to find sites. We just recently found a site that is a absolute home run because of this software. It's called Outscraper, outscraper.com. I'm going to go through it step by step. Once you log in, it's probably already got my logins saved, so it's probably just going to push me through. Um, all right, so this originally started out with me trying to find a way using the AI services to find sites via Yelp data, and then I came to Outscraper, which actually does have Yelp data. So you're going to go to Services, you're going to go to Brand, and you actually could use Yelp data, but what I actually have found is more efficient and has better near-term results is actually using Google Maps. So we're going to go to Google and we're going to go to Google Maps Data Scraper. Once we're at the Google Maps data scraper, you can use a variation of ways to do this query, but for if you're just beginning to use it, just follow how I do it and then you can play around with it. If you do a plain query, you can kind of just put words like I have used it for businesses that have the word lube in the title or oil change. But for right now, what I have found is actually more efficient is using category, because if it's an oil change business, it will have oil change service as its category. From here, let's limit it to, let's say we're gonna select sites in, let's say, let's do Indiana. All right, you can select multiple states, however you want. We're gonna do 0 maximum results, so that it gives us everything. And then we're going to only go to the advanced parameters. All right, so it's already going to say subtype contains oil change service. Awesome. Now we're going to add one. We're going to add subtypes equals, or not subtypes, sorry. You're going to go to business status equals closed temporarily. You can do closed permanently too, but the chances when a site is listed as closed permanently on Google Maps, usually it's been scooped up by Valvoline or Take 5 or someone like that. The reason temporarily has worked better for us is because it's Google users are the ones usually reporting something is closed, and if enough people report it, then it conveys over to the Google My Business listing. So this is pretty recent list of facilities. So we're going to click Get Data. What's going to happen is it's going to tell you what it thinks the cost to run this query is, and FYI, like it's going to give me a number, but every time I've done it, it's going to say 52 bucks for 17,000 places. Almost every time I've run this, it's always been much less than what it projects to be. So take that for what it's worth. Anyway, once you have that data, it's going to go to your task page, and it does take a while to fully scrape. So all of this data is going through the maps right now, and you have to go to the tasks and it'll stay in progress for a while. So these are prior ones that I've done. So I'm going to go ahead. I've already got one opened up. I'm going to show you an example of one that we just did that is going to be a company owned store shortly. And I was not planning on doing any company owned stores in 2025, but this one is almost too. Um, this one is almost too good to not share with everyone. And obviously, it's 6 o'clock right now, so my emails are going off because of everybody's clocking out right now. But all right, so here is the result. These are all businesses that their category is oil change service, and it's not perfect, it's not exact, but it did give a list of all of these stores. And so we started with the very first one, and you might have to delete some rows because it gives you a ton of information. It gives you a lot of information that you have to contend with. So we can delete this one as well. Really, really the only one we really need is name and full address. So what we did once we had this information was we took the address, we put it into Google, we searched it. So what happened when that happened was a listing for sale came up. Cool. All right. So here is the site in Reed City, Michigan. All right. 2-bay quick lube with a car wash bay right here for $229. That right there is in our wheelhouse. Sub $500,000 quick lube buildings all day. You know, if there's no other competitors in the area, then we love that. The next thing we like to do is go to the business profile. So it was called Reed City Quick Lube. So we copy the name, put it in Google. Obviously, right here it's showing it's temporary closed. That's why it came up on the site. We want to we're going to look at reviews. We're going to see why it might be closed. A very quick search shows that, oh, the guy, he's not there all the time. He stopped being open on time. And then this person 4 months ago said it was closed. All right. So, long story short, we were able to purchase this facility, and this number is going to shock you guys. So, please brace. But we were able to buy this building for $90,000. I'm not saying that's going to be a common occurrence. Obviously, we've been able to do it a few times now with some of our facilities, but this is the kind of work that we put in on the corporate side to find these sites. And this one is about to be a home run, in my opinion. At $90,000, the car wash revenue will probably, pay for it itself. But then the quick lube side, here's the other part of the research we did before I went in and started making offers. One, I visited the site. I was out in the Detroit area. I drove up to Reed City, which is actually closer to Grand Rapids. We viewed a few sites. It was when I was visiting with a new leaseback partner. But it is important that had this little town, because this is a very little town, had this little town said, if I'm going to scroll out a little bit. If I put quick lube in here and it say there were two Jiffy Lubes, a Valvoline, and a Take 5, then maybe I would have been less inclined to make a move. But this Performance Plus is 30 minutes away. There's another town up here called Cadillac. They have a quick lube and a Valvoline Express Care, Pioneer Quick Lube, Cadillac. So this right here. There's another site we visited over here in this town, in Clare, which actually we might move forward on that one as well. But anyway, long story short, everybody, like, this service gave us the list of stores to do the research, to put in the work. This all happened in less than a 3-month time. There's other sites on here. There's other quick lubes on here. Obviously some of them are clearly not quick lubes, like Firestone Complete Auto Care. It just happens to have oil change service as its category. Some guy selling Hams oil out of his garage of his personal residence. Like, that's, but it takes work. This stuff all takes work, and it's important to know that. But this site in Reed City will be open in the next month, and we found it less than 2 months ago. So, you know, for what it's worth, we used Outscraper in order to find that site. I have a feeling it's going to help us find many more sites, and I hope that this is helpful to everybody.